Last episode, I moved my boat, expanded my construction yard, and built an iron farm. Today, we're going to build a big old workshop packed full of all the basic machines we need to make a start on our theme park, which is also going to require a lot more power. And if I have time, I may even add some machines to make the construction yard here just a little bit more busy. I'm going to need a whole lot of zinc today, so between episodes, I have actually expanded my drill and done a whole lot of mining. We've got boxes and boxes of stuff over there, but we've also got a whole bunch of shinies as well. But I do need to break all of this down, which means I need to build a massive stack of ore first. And you may notice I've also added some texture to this wall here. It was looking a little bit bland, but I think that works. There we go, loads of zinc. Let's get all this cooked up. And the reason we're going to need so much zinc is because, well, I need to add some more power down here. And I think I'm just going to add a couple more shipping containers, jam lots of water wheels in them. We will, of course, get to steam power, but I don't really want to do that just yet. Perfectly happy with water wheels for now. But these containers use quite a lot of copycat panels, which means, yes, zinc. We need lots of zinc to make copycat stuff. But this much zinc should be plenty, hopefully. Annoyingly, I don't really have much storage space left at the moment, hence all these random boxes over here. So I'm going to dump all my shinies back in this box, because before I actually build these shipping containers, there's a couple of other things I want to do. And that involves the iron farm over here and the machine we put on this side as well. Firstly, I want to add another switch just so we can turn this off when we're not actually using it, partly to save power, but also to save frames. So that means I need another clutch. I need another one of these breaker switches, and we're going to need more redstone links. So we'll put the clutch in here, the redstone link set to receive, and we'll just put double electron tubes inside. And then I'm going to stick that switch here. So we need one of those. Please do that, and hopefully... Yep, look at that. We can now just turn this off when we're not using it. Wonderful. Simple thing, but it makes me happy. Now, another slight problem we've got over here is the iron farm. I mean, it works. It's fine. As you can see, it's bringing in a whole bunch of iron for us, but it's actually very, very slow, which is fine. But because it's slow, we probably want it running all the time. Now, if you did watch last season, you'll know that I had chunk loaders of a type that basically meant I could just make them, chuck them down on the ground, and they would keep everything loaded all the time, which was fine until the world got massive and I couldn't remember where I put them. This season, however, I've got different chunk loaders. These ones are a lot more create-based. And if we have a little ponder of these... Oh, geez, we need to actually catch a ghast? Right. But basically, it looks like we need to catch a ghast inside one of these things, and then when it's powered, it creates a chunk loader. I don't really know what the difference is between the andesite ones and the brass ones, however. But I'll tell you what, we don't have a giant mechanical crafting table at the moment, so I think we're just going to make an andesite one for now. Which, I'll tell you what, is not going to be as straightforward as I thought. We do still need to get hold of some crying obsidian. I think we've already got a bit of glowstone, so we should be okay on that front. And everything else is fine as well, I guess. But yeah, we need to make a respawn anchor. So, crying obsidian. I'm sure there's a couple of portals under the water around here somewhere. Pretty sure there's one just over there. Let's go jump in our boat and see if we can scavenge any up. Well, there's definitely a couple of pieces on that portal. It looks like there's a couple more on this one. I see a couple more. That should be all we need. Now we can make ourselves a respawn anchor. Couple of these, we need a shaft, and we need some glass. That will give us an empty andesite chunk loader. But I guess now comes the hard part. We need to go to the Nether and catch a ghast. But for that, we're going to need to make ourselves a portal, and I don't know how much... We've got 25 crying... Oh, of course, we did loads of piglin trading. I don't need to go do that after all. I do, however, need some obsidian. I mean, we do have a nether portal, but it's all the way over at the other fishing area, so I'm just gonna stick a temporary one here, I think. Although I do need more obsidian first, and I believe there's a lava pool just over here by this other village. Yep, there it is. That should do the trick nicely. I think for now, I'm just going to hide this portal underground here, just at the entrance to my temporary mine shaft. Thought it'd help if I'd remember to bring a flint and steel with me. Now, let's hope we can catch ourselves a ghast. Oh, my days. Well, this is a terrifying spawn. I think we're just going to dig ourselves up and out of this hole. This is horrible. Well, we are absolutely surrounded by Crimson Forest. This place is horrible. So that's the back of potentially the same fortress we were in at the start. Which means if we head over that way, I believe there is actually a Nether Wastes area, and hopefully we can find a ghast over there. Oh, he dropped a skull. Well, this is not working out particularly well so far. I'm not really finding much of anything useful. Dearly, a Soul Sand Valley is what we're after, but yeah, not really finding much of anything. Just fortress and death. So with that in mind, I think I'm just going to go back through the portal and maybe go use the one we used before. At least we know at that one, we had some nether waste right on the doorstep, and it's going to be a little bit easier to actually get to a ghast. Hopefully. Well, I can see a ghast, but I've got no chance of catching that guy. Problem is, it's mostly just a lava lake around here. I need him to come up here. I have a feeling the only way I'm going to find a ghast around here is by exploring. So I'm going to dig some tunnels and just hope that eventually I stumble across one, I guess. I'll try not to break my pickaxe this time. Ooh, ancient debris. How lovely. I swear it's just crimson forest and lava everywhere. Well, I can see a ghast, but don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one. It looks like he's a little bit too far off the ledge. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Nope. Oh, that one over there might be a bit easier. Well, those ones I was chasing seem to have despawned, which is not ideal. I'm not really having much luck here at all. So much so, I'm beginning to think I'm not going to be getting myself a power loader today. I might have to actually come back once I've got an elytra. Because being able to fly through the air and just fly into them and nab one's going to be a whole lot easier than running around and hoping for the best, but one has just spawned in behind me. Right, okay, well, let's go hope for the best one more time, shall we? It keeps staying low down. That's what we need. Yes! We got him! Amazing! Just as I'd given up all hope. Right, let's leg it. Still got a long route home without falling in lava to accomplish. A nice sketchy walk back across the lava on a single wide bridge made of netherrack. What could possibly go wrong? Absolutely nothing, apparently. We actually got out of the nether safely. Wonderful. Right, now to figure out how this thing works. And I believe the andesite ones probably only load one chunk at a time. Question is, how are my chunks looking over here? Oh, really awkward. We might not be able to do this with an andesite chunk loader, but I guess there's only one way to find out. So, I wonder, can I jam it in here? If I remove this block here, pick in a shaft and put the chunk loader there. Okay, well, it's definitely doing it. Question is it only loading this one chunk, or does it load more than one? So I just looked it up, and it does appear that this only loads the chunk that it's in, which I guess is fine because we do have lots of cobble in backup, or at least we did. But it does mean the actual drill itself isn't going to load when we leave the area, but it will sort out all the leftover cobble we already have. So my thinking is, because we've got so much cobble from all of our mining, we can just load up that double chest that we've got up there, and at least when we're not in the area, the farm will keep running a little bit. Better than nothing, I suppose, but the good news is, if we flick the switch here, that's also going to turn off this chunk loader. Definitely going to want brass ones in future, though, I think. Which means in this workshop we're going to have to make a really big mechanical crafting table. You normally don't fill up every single side, but I'm sure we can handle it. But with the extra switch up there and also the chunk loader, I think it's about time we sorted out our power situation, because we're definitely going to want a whole lot more power, which means I need to put down a couple more shipping containers, but you've seen me build those before, so I'll bring you back in once they're here. Well, I may have got a little bit carried away. The good news is I've got the shipping containers in, but I've also done these sort of texturing. I've added a few details on the outside, nothing like what we did up there. I've just kept it very simple, just a pipe here and there, and I've also added a couple of doors on the front as well. And inside, I've just done exactly the same as on this one. I've jammed it absolutely full of water wheels. However, this one, I've actually left a little bit of space because I do want to have some sort of bits and dials in here so I can see how much power we're actually generating and, of course, how much we're using. But what I need to do now is actually get these two shipping containers connected and then get them connected to this one here. And I think we're actually just going to connect them underground just to keep it a little bit tidier. So that means I need to add one of those on there, and then we need a gearbox. So that needs to be vertical like that. We need to send that one into the floor, but we also need to make sure we're connecting it up over there. Let's just dig a quick hole underground. And if we stick a gearbox in at the bottom here, another gearbox in there, and drag this all the way back, vertical gearbox there. All right, so that's all that power connected. But now I need to connect it to this one here. And also over here, as I say, I do want to know how much power we're actually generating from this thing. So let's just do that, stick in a gearbox. And what we need to do is actually bring this power outside, just like that. And once again, we need to send this one underground and connect it over to that one. So we'll just connect that onto a new gearbox there and get that connected up there. A little bit of tidying up and we should be good. Wonderful. So they're now all connected to the same system. We just need to know how much we're actually producing. For that, there's a couple of things I need to make. First up, we want some goggles. So I need one gold sheet, a couple of pieces of glass, and a string. I think that was it. Yep, there we go. And if we click this button here, we can stick that in our curios slot and hide them. We don't need them visible. But this now means when we look at stuff, we're going to be getting a lot more detail, such as how much stress units we're using. How many stress units, I should say. And speaking of stress units, the other thing I want to make is a stressometer, which means we need a speedometer, which is, oh, very simple. So we just need a compass and an andesite casing. That gives us a speedometer. We don't care about that one. We don't need to know how fast it's going. But I do want to know how many stress units we have to play with. So I'm going to remove that. We're going to put the stressometer in there. Okay, so we're producing 27,000 stress units, and we've got 18,000 remaining to make our workshop, basically. And I think the stress units we're using are actually all being used on this thing here. So, yep, they're using 1,000 apiece. Drills are probably using similar. And if we were to turn this on as well, how much are we using then? Well, I'll tell you what, let's actually make a couple of stressometers and scatter them about. So we can probably sneak one in there. All right, so this machine is using 4,000 total. So yeah, we've actually only got 14,000 to play with in order to, yeah, make a lovely fast workshop. So we might actually need to add more power. Probably should have gone with steam power after all, but it's fine. If we need to add more, we can just stick another shipping container on top or something, probably. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Well, it's a bright new day. Let's get to planning out our workshop. So I think I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently for this one. I feel like we've got quite a few shipping containers going on. And although it's looking quite cool, we're probably going to end up with more power planty type ones down here. So instead, we're actually going to use those kind of portable building type things that you often see on building sites. And that's what we're going to use around here. What I need to do, though, is work out a rough size. So this is probably the size of sort of one module, so to speak. But what I want to do is, well, have more space. So we're going to stack up a few modules. And then we can just knock through the wall in between them, make a nice big room. In fact, I think on the corners, I'm going to use this polished diorite, just so we can see exactly where all the different sections are. All right, so that's going to be a reasonable amount of space, but we might want an upstairs as well. Let's just get this built up and see how we're feeling. So they're going to be about that sort of size. I think I do want to stick one on top as well, actually. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry, sir. You silly little arms. But as I was about to say, something like that. We'll put a couple of supports in here, of course, and a floor and all that stuff. But I think shape and size-wise, this might be okay. We can always extend this a bit more if we need more space. But I guess I need to get some roofs, some floors, and a bit of support on this thing just to make it look a little bit better. So that's our next step, I guess. And yes, I am making a building out of diorite. Sometimes it's the right thing to do. And a short while later, we've got some very basic looking boxes. Don't worry, you just need to trust the process. I'm sure they'll look great in the end. But yeah, currently 2 big white diorite boxes with black roofs and grey floors. I've decided to use some light grey concrete on the inside here. I will, of course, mix this up a little bit. And I've also connected the power so we can start thinking about machines. To be honest, I don't think I can leave this looking how it does. So I'm going to spend a bit of time trying to make this look a bit better. We'll probably punch some windows in here and there. And we'll just see what we can do to make this sit in with the landscape just a little bit better. Montage. Well, that's looking much better. We've got it situated in the landscape more. We've got some texture on, and I particularly like the bars over the windows. These buildings always have bars, and that just works really nicely. I've also used these small zinc lamps around the front just to provide a bit of light. We've got some pipes going in, and we've even got access to the roof. But not only that, I also sorted the yard out round the front here. I do hope to put a vehicle or two here in future, but for now it's just a whole bunch of space, and we've also got a bit of space around the back here with a slope that's actually going to lead down to the bottom section. So we've still got some work to do down here, but that's not for today. And I managed to get this slope working quite well as well using the copycat layers. So basically you can stack them up pixel at a time, and I think that just works really nicely. But it's no good having a building if it's empty. We do actually need to put a whole bunch of things in here now. And I've got a rough idea of what I want to put in here, and we're just gonna kind of start adding things really and see how far we can get. And the first thing I want to do is to make a bigger cooker, a bigger washer, and also have a haunter and a smelter as well. For that, we're going to need 4 fans. Gonna need to make sure that they're powered, so I think doing this via the back here is probably gonna be our best bet. And we need to get everything connected to this power source here, which is currently going incredibly slow, so I think the first thing we're actually going to do is to get this thing moving a little bit faster. Something like that. So this will send power upstairs, and if we put in a gearbox across here, we can also send power in across the top over this way. In fact, for now, I'm just going to route this all around the top here because we're going to need power over this side as well. All right, good stuff. However, something else I do need to do is have a separate speed controller for this here because we want these to be going really, really slow. Because the good thing about these fans is it doesn't matter how fast the fans are going, that doesn't actually change how quickly stuff cooks, but it does change how quickly it pushes stuff along. And, well, ideally I want to keep this quite small, but I also want it to get cooked before it gets to the end. Being able to control this independently at a speed of maybe 4 or something like that should help solve that problem. So if we just rotate these around a little bit like that, then okay, the fans are going. Let's just change the direction of those. And we'll work out the proper speed shortly, but for now I just need to make sure that they're actually going to blow in the right direction, which is good. So let's get these boxed in just a little bit here. I'm hoping that we can get everything to get turned just in that small space there. Then we'll use the soul campfire for haunting. We'll use the campfire for cooking. And we're going to need copycat boards there and there. So we can hold lava in one and water in the other. There we go. So that's going to be our 4 cookers. And to load them up, what we're going to do is use some smart chutes like this with a spruce straw on top. And to be honest, I don't think that's going to be quite enough space. So let's actually push these back another block, get those back in. And the reason it's probably not going to be enough space is because we need to put some funnels in here as well. And as soon as something enters that block space, it's going to go into here. But hopefully that'll be enough space. I guess there's only one way to test it. So we'll grab a stack of raw fish, a stack of gravel, a stack of cobble, and a stack of red sand, I guess, because we don't have any normal sand. But the hope is if I load up these like this, and hopefully this stuff's going to get cooked before it gets to this tube over here. But it looks like it's going fairly slow. Hopefully we'll be okay. Well, it looks like it worked. This is good. And of course, iron ingots. Yep, wonderful. So we know that that's going to be enough space, which is good. We just need to kind of tidy this up a little bit. All right, there we go. So that's all our cookers and haunters and whatnot done. Step 1 complete. So next up, I think I want to get some deployers, some presses, a couple of mixers, and maybe even a slicer or 2 in along this wall here. Which means first up, I'm going to need a whole bunch of depots, and instead of the normal ones, I think I'm actually going to go for these industrial iron ones just because they're a little bit cheaper. And if we were to have, say, 3 presses, 2 deployers, a couple of mixers there, and maybe a couple of slicers, that should do us. I just need to go make all those things I just said. So that's 2 deployers, 3 presses, 2 mixers, and 2 slicers. But we're also running a little bit low on andesite alloy, so let's get some of that while we're here. And we're going to use that to make a couple of basins. There we go. So we'll put those basins there with some mixers on top. Stick a slicer in, and of course we can't actually have 2 slicers next to each other because they have to be going in a specific direction. So I guess we'll just have one of them, but that'll be fine. Then we want 3 mechanical presses, 2 deployers. Yep, let's get rid of that. There we go. And we need some power. Gearbox in there, flip to vertical that way. Same here, stick another one in, and there we go. So that's all of those powered. And we need a vertical gearbox in there with a shaft and a cog, and that's all those powered, and that is in fact going the right way. Wonderful. Let's just give that thing an axe. There we go. So now we can strip wood nice and quickly, and I think I just want to get all this boxed in as well, to be honest. Oh, I've run out of andesite casing. A good opportunity to use my new setup here, I guess. So this will strip our logs, and then if we put those over here and give this dude some andesite alloy, look at that. Wonderful. No longer do I have to manually make those. This is good. Okay, there's a whole bunch of new machines ready to go, although these here I should probably hopefully get some blaze burners in and just put some steps in so you can actually get to those. Well, I don't like the fact you can see all this dirt behind it, so let's quickly clear this out as well. There we go, much nicer. Well, I think it's safe to say we're making some pretty quick progress over here. Workshop's coming along nicely. Although something else I think I want to put in here is a mechanical crafter, and, well, we need that to be massive, like 5 by 5 maybe? Could potentially put it here as like a separator between the stairs and all the stuff underneath, maybe? Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Let's give that a go. So we're going to need a whole bunch of these. Gonna be a bit crammed in there, isn't it? I wonder. Maybe on this bit here, we could instead use some copycat boards. Yeah, that'll give us a bunch more space. And we need this to be 5 by 5, which means I need 3 more. And there we go. Thank you, Past Beardy, for making that machine. That's made things much easier for those electron tubes. And let's get all of these in. And with this mechanical crafter, we need to set all of the arrows so that they feed into each other. So I think we're just going to send them all across to the right and then down, just like that, and we'll feed the finished result into that box there. We do also need to get power to this, so maybe what we need is a gearbox there and a cog there. Oh, the system's overstressed already and we haven't even got all the machines in yet. I see. Well, that means I'm definitely going to be needing more power. Dang it. So I guess before we can go any further in here, I need to build another crate over here so we can jam some more power in. To be honest, I think I'm just going to line it up next to the 2 we've already got. I'll see you in just a moment. So I ended up adding 3 more power stations, which doubles the amount of power we have overall. And now hopefully we should have plenty to get everything we need done in here. As you can see, we still have 23,000 SU remaining, so hopefully that's going to be enough. Because I think there's only a couple more things that I want to be putting in here, and one of them is basically a line of deployers with belts and things like that. So when it comes to making things such as these, the precision mechanisms, it means we can just automate this process by loading it up with some gold sheets. So I need to make myself a bunch more deployers and see if we can jam something in here. So we need 3 brass hands, 3 more deployers, and I'm hoping that we're going to have enough space in here. And I guess I can just grab the power from over here. So we should just be able to bring it down like that. Stick a vertical gearbox in there, and then if we attach these belts to each other and stick shafts here and here. Okay, perfect. They're going in opposite directions. That's exactly what we want. And we need our deployers, so we can put them in a line here. And if we use these, we should. I can get the angles right. There we go. All our deployers are powered. Well, that feels a bit in the way there. Maybe I should do it on this side. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Let's just make this look a little bit better down here. I just need to make a couple more drawers, but I've run out of wood. So, yeah, I guess we're going to need to grow some trees, get these chopped down, and then we can get this bit finished. So we need a barrel here. We need another barrel on this side. And then we need funnels. So we need an exit funnel there, entrance one there, exit one there, and an entrance one there. And the reason I've used brass ones here is because we do actually need to add a couple of filters. So if we make one of these a list filter, I'm going to need some more iron nuggets. Set this to filter for precision mechanisms and deny, and put that on there. Then basically anything that goes into here that's not a precision mechanism will get ejected out and go round and round the system. But as soon as the completed mechanisms are done, they should just wait in here. At least that's the hope. All we need now is a few things up there so we can actually get these loaded up. So we need iron ingots in the end here. This dude needs small cogs there and large cogs there. Now we need to test this out and make sure it's going to work, which means I need a little bit of gold and, well, to be honest with you, I could do with some more cogs as well. Means I need even more wood. Okay, I think we're ready to test. Let's crush some gold, chuck it in here, and hopefully these things are going to keep going round until we end up with some actual precision mechanisms, or maybe a few broken bits that aren't exactly what we're after. Wow, we did well. We didn't actually have any failures that time. Excellent. But this machine works too. Let's just make it look a little bit nicer. And that only used, what, 3,000 stress units? Excellent. So for the downstairs, I think this is all of the machines that I want down here, but there is one more thing we need. I think I'm going to have to stick that upstairs, probably on this side here. And that is, of course, a set of crushing wheels, which is not only going to enable us to crush stuff down, but in theory, it should also work quite well for us to get some XP. But let's make some crushing wheels, shall we? And for these, I believe I need... No, that's not right. So I need diorite in the middle, and then I need 4 planks, and then I believe I need like 16 andesite alloy all around the outside like this. And because we've also got these corner bits in, which we kind of need to be able to make chunk loaders, it does mean I need to give this thing a kickstart. So give it a redstone thing, and that should... Excellent, there we go. Got our crushing wheels. Do, however, need to steal some power, so we'll put in that there, and then we're going to stick in a vertical gearbox on this side, just because we don't want to mess with the rotation of everything else we've got going on over there. Now, this should be fairly straightforward if we just do that and then get a belt, like so. Stick vertical gearboxes either side, shaft in the middle, crushing wheels on top, and if we just get some power over like this. Wonderful, that should do the job there nicely. So we need a collection box on this side. Need a drop box at the top here. And to be honest, I think that's pretty much all we need here. We just need to make it look a bit tidier. Maybe some safety barriers and some more andesite casing, which means I need to do more chop and more of this. And let's get all this bit under here tidied up. That box a bit of support so it doesn't look so weird. Although now we've got our crushing wheels going, I believe if we crush down all this sort of stuff, we can actually get XP out of it. Let's dump a load in and see what happens. Well, apparently nothing. I'll shoot maybe? Okay, there we go. Yep. Look at that. Wonderful. We're getting crushed raw iron, and we're also getting nuggets of experience. I mean, it's not like we get any additional iron by doing it like this, but we do get lots of nuggets of experience, and they're going to come in very, very handy. Mainly because we don't really have an XP source at the moment. Although it does appear that I'm quite often going to end up getting out a lot more than I'm actually putting in. So, what I should probably do is stick another chest down here just with a hopper in, and then hopefully everything's just going to filter through. Yeah, let's see. Look how quickly that's filling up already. Jeez. So with the crushing wheel in, that just leaves us with a couple more things to do. One is, of course, to make the interior of this place look a little bit nicer. It's a bit messy at the moment. We've got lots of blank walls. I think we could probably do something. I mean, we definitely need to get some lighting in for a start. But also, we do still have a bit of space over here, and that is 5 wide, isn't it? Maybe we should move our enchantment table over. It's currently just sitting out by the river in the starting area. So yeah, maybe bringing that over will be a good idea for over here. But for a little workshop, I think that's coming along nicely. And now it's coming along even better. So I've sorted out the floor. We've added some tiling and a few rough patches. We've got some pipes going on just to kind of busy up the place a little bit. They don't actually have any function, but I think they work quite well. I've also got more of these spinny fans on the ceiling just because I love how they look. Got a bit of a storage area up here just for some excess things, and we've even got an on and off switch here, so we can actually turn the whole workshop off when we're not using it. But when it is on, we also have another stressometer here so we can see what we've got left. As you can see, we've got plenty of wiggle room if we need to add more stuff around here. And upstairs, I've got my enchanting setup all sorted out. We've got grindstones in. I've even just added a globe for a bit of decoration. Doesn't that look lovely? But this does do the full 30 levels, which is good. Ooh, looting. I could do with that. Thanks. Let's grab loads of this XP. And we're going to need a bit of lapis as well, but I'm going to quickly do a little bit of enchanting, I think. We do have a few items that still don't have any enchants, namely our shovel and our sword. I think our axe might need something as well. All right, let's get looting and smite as well. It's okay for now. Get efficiency on the shovel. That's definitely something I want. And same for the axe. Let's do the shovel first. Unbreaking 3 as well. Excellent. And the axe, silk touch. And unbreaking as well. Excellent. Just need to get mending on all of those now. But in regards to the workshop itself, I have to say I'm very pleased with how all of that has come out. We've got a lot of empty yard space around the outside here, though, so we'll need to fill that at some point. And we've got a great big yard here, so we might even be able to cram in a vehicle of some kind. But now that we've actually got some basics in place, although we're going to be coming back here and doing more work in this area, we're probably going to need another couple of small temporary farms, and of course, I need to do a lot of tidying up around the outskirts of this area and get lots of big machines in. But I think that's something we'll come back to because I need to start getting prepped for next episode because we're actually going to be making a start on the theme park, which means I need to start planning out how to utilize this space, which also means I'm going to have a whole lot of terraforming to do. But sadly, that's all we've got time for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.